Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to be diving in as the veil is continuing to thin for the Beltane or Samhain season to see which spirits are reaching out to you and why. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits, and anyone new who is joining us here on the channel today. We are going to be looking into which spirits are coming forward, right? Who is reaching out to you as the veil continues to thin for either Beltane in the southern hemisphere or Samhain in the northern hemisphere. Doesn't matter which hemisphere you're in, we're all going to be feeling this veil shift and thin. And in the Beltane sort of sense of things, a lot of the time it's more nature related spirits, but does not always have to be. And then also in Samhain, we tend to find more of loved ones coming forward or deities that we may be working with. And all of these readings were definitely a mixed bag. So I would love to hear your thoughts as we move through them. Feel free to use your own intuition as always. And we're going to dive into these here in just a moment. But if you're interested in something beyond spirit work and others, and you want to look into mundane things in your life around your career, your home, your family or relationships, as well as spiritual ones, then definitely feel free to reach out for a snail mail reading, as I would love to read into any topic or question on your mind. These are sent out to you through the mail, and they are typewritten on a vintage typewriter, wax sealed closed for your eyes only, so they are easy and clear to read, and so no one else has any chance of looking at them. And also they are very detailed, so if you want to get a very detailed reading on a particular topic in your mind, then we'll go ahead and look into that for you. But also I have magical spell and ritual papers out right now for the Samhain and sort of spooky season right now. So if you're interested in getting your own papers that you can use for spirit communication, in offerings to spirits at this time, or using them to use for protection spells, then definitely feel free to reach out and get a set of your own as well. So all of the information on those will be down below in the description and through my Instagram for helpful and honest reviews over there. But let's go ahead and look at the piles. So you have 3 different piles to choose from today, and usually I choose different crystals, but for whatever reason I was looking back at the readings that I did last year just to kind of brush up on what decks I used and see how I kind of structured the reading, and I saw each of these crystals and just felt called to use them again. So feel free to choose a different pile if you chose a different one last year or you watched that video last year, but I wanted to use them here again today. So here for pile number 1, there is this piece of clear quartz. So if you're feeling called to this one, that's pile number 1. Here for pile number 2, there's this piece of amethyst. So if you're feeling called to this piece of amethyst, then that is pile number 2. And last but not least here for pile number 3, there is this piece of rhodonite. So if you're feeling called to this piece of rhodonite, then that is pile number 3. But before you start heading off to the timestamps, I like to invite you to take a deep and cleansing breath here with me in just a moment so you can really connect with each of the piles. You can use this to call in your guides, and you can play around with this as you wish. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath together here now. And as always, there's no rules to this. You can choose all 3 of the piles. You can take bits and pieces from each of them. You can watch a pile and only take small bits as you move through it, or see what comes forward with your own intuition. There really are no rules. All the timestamps are down below in the description alongside the chapter marks of this video, so it's easy and clear to find. And if you're interested, like I said, in looking deeper into anything that I talked about here, or another particular topic or question on your mind, feel free to check out those snail mail readings or those magical spell and ritual papers for all of your ritual and magical needs this Samhain. So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and get started here with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you decide to choose this piece of clear quartz, to look into your reading here today, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be exploring as the veil has thinned and is continuing to thin on our way to Samhain or to Beltane, dependent on if you are in the northern or southern hemisphere. We're going to be looking into which spirits are coming forward to work with you, help you, or ones you could begin to form a relationship with, whether that's a deity, a particular local spirit, or if it's someone from beyond the veil that has passed in your life, down your ancestral line, or many other ways that this could go. We're going to be playing around with this today using the charms as well as several different oracle decks, and the tarot deck of choice being the Everyday Tarot, which I'll have this all, as always, listed in the description down below, so you can quickly and easily find what I'm using here today. But we are going to begin first with the charms, so we can really start to see kind of the personality or correspondences that come along with the spirit or multiple spirits. If you already have spirits in which you work with, deities or loved ones beyond the veil in which you are hoping are, reaching out during this reading, then definitely feel free to call them in, light a candle for them, however you wish to go about this. But we're going to be looking collectively, so we might have some things that don't fully connect for you, and there might be things that totally hit. So feel free to use your own intuition as we move through this, especially with the charms, and see what really points out for you. So let's start first with the charms and see what comes forward, so we can figure out who is coming forward. Who is the spirit or these multiple spirits coming to help you at this time, or that you could begin to work with? Let's see what you have here. You have the dolphins, the rock, you have the cat bat, a bit of a cage here. You also have the leaping frog, it's not so black and white, sort of gray charm. You have the blooming charm, a bit of a leaf to showcase turning a leaf or turning a transitionary period, and that coming next to the paperclip, which also can represent holding something together temporarily. And then you also got the intuition charm of the sort of amethyst crystal. It's not actually amethyst, but that's what I always see it as. So immediately I see a lot of charms showcasing growth of your intuition, wanting to leap forward into a new period. So maybe this is very new to you. Maybe some of you've never reached out to spirits before, or this is something that you're reaching back out to. You're leaping into kind of the abyss here and seeing what comes back. It's something that you're like kind of growing this particular muscle, this psychic muscle that's going on here, as you are going through a transitionary period and are maybe looking for a bit of help or advice coming forward, or you'd love to work with a particular spirit or even local spirits. I'm getting a feeling here, ocean related spirits, forest spirits, as that keeps coming forward with like the frogs and like the dolphins here. Other things that I have coming forward are more to do with that intuition with the cat bat, because both cats and bats are related to intuition as well. And so I really feel like it's interesting that all the charms that are coming forward here are like showcasing to me for you to use your own intuition as we move through this reading, even more than I've said, right? I've already invited you guys to use your own intuition because I love to hear what you guys see and what creative ways and more psychic ways come forward for each of you as you look at the charms and see different things that I wouldn't even pick up on. But what's interesting is I'm not like getting one particular spirit coming forward, but rather to look and work with local spirits that are near you, and also that you're being like called maybe by a spirit that's not exactly naming themselves right now or telling you who they are, because they're almost wanting to push you to reach out yourself. Kind of like a teach by example sort of thing, especially with this rock. This rock is making me think, one, more local spirits, but it's also making me think that they kind of make me think of like a teacher who's not going to hold your hand. They want you to push yourself to start reaching out, whether that is through readings like this and you pushing yourself to push your intuition to see how far you can see, what you notice, what is specific to you, but also just that they also want you to find your own rhythm, your own way in which to speak with spirits, whether that is through tarot cards and charms and the like, or if that is through a different means, pendulums or spirit boards, or just communicating with the wind and seeing what is said back, using just your intuition, just going out into nature and speaking to the trees, to the waterways, to the plants and animals. There's this feeling of wanting to breathe with the earth that is around you or the ocean that is around you. This feeling of just a deep need for like local communication with spirit. But of course, like I said, you might see something very different in these charms, and maybe something is already sparking your intuition. So see where that continues to flow as we move through this. I want to see more and see if they decide to reveal themselves as we move through this reading, or if they are a very stubborn spirit that really wishes for you to find the messages on your own. But I'll go ahead and pull some here. We're going to pull 3 to 5 cards, see what else is coming forward, not only for who it is, but also more of the messages in which they maybe wish to share with you. So who and why are they coming forward? Or rather, refusing to come forward in a way as well, or withholding themselves. Maybe we could learn more on that as well. So you have the 8 of Pentacles, hard work. The spirit is it's like they're charming in the fact that I can tell that they really care about you, but they want you to find this path yourself. Like they're wanting to kind of push you a little bit to work with other spirits, or to work with them, but like work with your own psychic gifts. You also have the 10 of Pentacles, which makes me think that they've worked with you maybe your whole life. It's not like they haven't been behind the scenes there, but it just feels like this particular spirit is like, I work behind the scenes. I don't really need you to see who I am. I don't need to be in the spotlight. You don't need to know my name, but I need you to know that you've got this on your own. You're capable of doing this on your own, finding these psychic gifts, working with your intuition, building those skills, but until you get that far, like, we're not going to be able to communicate. So there's something there where they're kind of waiting for you to choose them, you know what I mean, to choose to work with them. You have the 3 of Wands, venturing out into new places, new abysses, jumping into the deep end, as well as, well, I'm not going to pull that one, it doesn't feel right. Let's continue. As well as the Sun and the Strength card. Okay, so that has revealed a bit of themselves. These last 2 cards have really kind of shown me just a little bit more of who they are, right? We have all of these cards showcasing like they've been here before. They've been working behind the scenes. Maybe they're even down your ancestral line or down the culture that you work in. Again, local community spirits that are there, things that, you know, I would look into like local lore, stuff like that, seeing what comes forward. Maybe they don't even have a name. Maybe it's, you know, it's such a smaller spirit, especially if you are like a type of person who hasn't like ever left their hometown, or you've always stayed in the same state, the same area, the same country, like you've always been in the same place. It could be that they are like just very unknown. They don't have like this big flashy name behind them, but they've been working behind the scenes to help you for a while. I have this feeling of that. And then also, again, like they're wanting to either help you within your work, like helping you with your work life, helping you with the dream that you are trying to build of your life, right? They're not saying it's going to be easy work, but they're there to help you. They're here to give you the tools that you need versus try to hold your hand through everything. They're trying to give you the skills needed to move through life versus try to shelter you or hold you back or protect you from everything. They seem more like the kind of person who's more rough and tough. Also, the spirit, like I said, is also possibly just really wanting you to work more on your psychic gifts to be able to reach out to them yourself. And I feel like that's definitely a call that's coming forward here. as the Three of Wands is also showcasing that, as the Three of Wands isn't about planning or thinking, it's about jumping into the deep end. It's about also reaching out, like these little boats that are showing up here shows that you're reaching out into new waters, reaching out beyond a veil, right? And then this is the perfect time to be doing that. Like if you want to start growing your own psychic gifts and working on those sorts of things, and I have an entire video on your psychic and magical gifts if that's something you want to look deeper into, that you can check out. I'll make sure to put it up here, or it'll be down in the description, or you can find it. It was like the last 2 videos that I've done. Regardless, the point is that you could look deeper into that if you'd like to, or find your own ways. Like I said, meditate in nature, look up local lore, start reaching out to them as well as them reaching out to you. And the way that they're revealing themselves is with both the Sun and the Strength card. Again, they want to champion you. They want to put you on the horse up here. They want to make you shine bright. They're not here to hold your hand, but they also don't want you to fail. They're not trying to make you go through difficult situations on purpose, but rather they're just teaching you lessons, and they're trying to help you to grow your own resilience and your own strength to move through the world more easily and with more flexibility, as that's coming forward here as well. Because sometimes we think of strength as something that is very like solid and like, muscular and very kind of rigid, but actually, if you think of like the strength of trees, the way that they don't fall over and are able to stand their ground is because of the flexibility in their branches as well as the strength in their trunk, right? There's a little bit of a need for both, and I feel like that is what the Strength card is showcasing here, is that they're trying to teach you that flexibility and to be able to find your own personal strength so that they can champion you and help you to move forward and to let you navigate the world on your own. You also, if you work with any deities and you want to continue to work with things like that as well, beyond the local spirits that are coming forward, the Sun is also something, if you have any deities corresponded to the Sun or corresponded to the fire element, that also could be giving you a little bit of a hint on who they may be or how they may manifest. So let's go ahead and look forward a little bit more, especially since this card, or these cards, have more information on like those local spirits. So let's see. That is so interesting that they came out right away. Okay, so I'm going to just take this top card, I believe. Let's see what you got. Okay, you got Grandmother Wolf with the number 33, again, wanting to collaborate with you, work with you, versus try to be a leader in your life or tell you what to do. They're just here to assist in the background. It says, your howls are heard, love. Your inner healer awake. Be brave and listen. And I'm not even getting this feeling of like the words that are here with healer and like healing, although I do think healing could be a part of this, but most of what you've had come up here isn't showing this case of healing. It's more so showing a need for you to be able to stand up in your own pact, if that makes sense. Like that you're not alone, you're not a lone wolf, right? You have lots of local spirits that are here working with you every day. And you can give back to like the forests, the streams, the oceans, the rivers that you are near, right? So there's this push and pull and this want to work together with the local flora and fauna around you, and that you are a part of a pact. And they're definitely a leader in that pact. So maybe looking for the tallest tree in the area, or looking for the mightiest little flower that grows, whatever it may be. There's some sort of local spirit that is working there that I would definitely start looking into, because they want to work with you. They want to connect with you for sure. And maybe they even want your assistance in helping to heal the earth around you as well, your local earth, your local rivers, your local streams and oceans, right? It also can feel like they're wanting to champion you to help bring you back to the natural world and help to heal it as well. Very powerful stuff coming forward. Let's go ahead and see some more archetypes. So this might be archetypes that you are currently in, or these could be archetypes about them that could give us some more information. So group 1 with these local spirits, or local spirit that's coming forward. We have the Acolyte, new projects, learning. Makes sense with everything they have here. They're really trying to give you the information. They're giving you a new path to be able to take if you decide to follow it. Let's see what else. Group 1 here. Okay, you also have the Puppeteer, explanations and apologies. Interesting. So the Puppeteer is giving me this feeling that, again, they've been working in the background to help you. There is this natural tether that you guys have to one another. But I feel like maybe they're even trying to help strip you from a particular path that you've been told, or a particular mold that you've been told to follow. And now they're trying to give you a much more open path with far more freedom. Like I said, they don't want to hold your hand. They don't want to puppeteer you along. They want you to choose to work with them. They want you to choose to help heal. They want you to choose to follow this new path if you wish to. This more psychic, more local healing kind of path that's coming forward here, rather than just following what the puppeteers in your life are giving you as options. So I want to finish with some advice and anything else that might be coming forward, and then we'll close off your reading. But if you've been enjoying this, definitely be sure to give this video a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you saw, especially since they're trying to kind of work your own intuitive power. But let's see. Group 1, any lingering advice or messages yet to come. So you have both opportunity, makes sense, they're giving you an opportunity right now. It says there's no use looking for luck, it arrives at unexpected times. These little 4-leaf clovers, but yeah, they're giving you an opportunity right now, and it's up to you to take it. And retreat, never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. Did I not say earlier? To head out into nature, sit by a tree, just observe, be mindful, do meditation if you need to, see what comes forward from that. See what your intuition flows in. Maybe bring a journal or a pendulum and have a conversation with the spirit if they wish to come forward. See what happens. Wander down that path, because it seems they are there to listen. So there you are. That is your reading here today. I hope that you found this useful and helpful moving forward with this spirit, or moving forward with your own psychic gifts. I would truly love to hear your thoughts down below, as I mentioned earlier. And if you're interested in learning more about those psychic gifts, or you're interested in other pick a card readings that I do, or educational videos on charm casting, if you want to start your own charm casting set, or into art magic and the like, then definitely feel free to subscribe, as I put out new readings every single Monday that I think you'd really enjoy. And if you want to dive deeper into something that I have had here, or another particular reading that you'd like to go into for love, career, spirituality, or more, then definitely feel free to reach out for the snail mail readings that I do, where I type the reading up on a vintage typewriter, I wax seal it closed for your eyes only, and I send it your way. It's a very deep reading into whatever topic and question that you have on your mind. And also I have magical papers that I create, magical spell and ritual papers that I hand create, that are perfect to use for local spirits and such, because I use all natural ingredients, and I make sure that when it goes into the earth, if it's buried or thrown to the wind, used in fire rituals, or even reformed with water, then these would be perfect, because they are not going to hurt the earth in any way, and also are perfect for automatic writing, connecting with these spirits, or to use in your own rituals for the Samhain season. So feel free to check out those if you're interested in getting your own bundle to use even beyond Samhain as well. But overall, those are all the charms and cards that I have here for you today. I'm wishing you the best with this new spirit and this new path that you may be taking, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello Group 2, if you decide to choose this piece of Amethyst, then this is the pile for you, as today we are going to be exploring as the veil is thinning, whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere for Beltane or Samhain. The veil is thinning right now, and it is almost at its thinnest, which means that spirit communication is far easier to perform, or to be able to reach out, than ever before. And so this is a perfect time for us to really look into any spirits that are reaching out to you right now, that wish to express something to you, share something with you, or wanting to connect with you for your help as well. So we're going to see if anything comes forward here for you guys today in terms of that. And if you have a particular spirit or spirit team or deity or local spirit that you work with that you'd like to call in here today, feel free to call them forward, light a candle for them, reach out, and we'll see if they show up here today or if someone new is stepping forward. So we're going to be playing around with this with the charms, as well as several different oracle decks and the everyday tarot being our tarot deck today. I'll have all of this as always listed in the description down below, alongside other videos you can check out on your psychic and magical gifts, or more educational videos on charm casting and the like, so feel free to check those out. But we're going to get right into it, so feel free to get yourself cozy and settled and comfy for this. And as always with these kinds of readings, feel free to see what comes forward with your own intuition, right? These spirits clearly want to work with you, and so there's going to be little tidbits of things that I'm not going to pick up on, but you're going to pick up on, because they're particularly trying to talk to you in a very collective reading. So a lot of people are trying to watch this, and that means that a lot of different messages are going to come forward that aren't specific to you, but some of them really will be. So feel free to see and pick through and find the ones that are specific to you as we move through this. It's a great psychic sort of exercise here in your intuition. So let's begin first by pulling you some charms, and feel free to connect with them yourself, but we're going to see any traits that are coming forward, correspondences with any deities or spirits that you might be working with or are reaching out, and how they may be manifesting here in the charms. So let's start by mixing these up. Okay, so I had this one that got stuck on my finger earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and set it in as well, because I had a feeling about it as I was mixing them up. But let's go ahead and have a little look here. It almost feels like with the number 3 coming up, it either could represent something to do with the correspondences like I mentioned earlier, or it could be that 3 different spirits are coming forward, or you have someone that definitely wants to communicate and work with you, and that it is sort of a more, I don't know if the word transactional is exactly what I'm looking for, but it feels like a one that it's like they need a little bit of help from you, and you can also help them, right? So offerings are very helpful. Seeing if there's things that you can assist them in, as well as them assisting you, right? It feels like something that is very much a reciprocal kind of relationship rather than just a one-sided thing. So there's either a lot of collaboration that's happening between the two of you, or also there just could be 3 different spirits coming forward, or multiple. You have what charms we got down here? We got the little camel. You've got a rhino. You have a crab, so we've got lots of different nature spirits that could be coming forward. Cancer as well, for in terms of like the astrological sign of Cancer. You also might find that they are related to love or relationships, especially if this is a deity, which is kind of the feeling I'm getting here. Like it feels like a much bigger spirit, or a more well-known one, especially since you also have like the roses coming forward here with love or working within relationships. They could be related to roses in some way in their lore and folklore. You also have the key here, but this one specifically the security protective key. So they're here to protect you or guard you in some way, or they think of themselves as a guardian in your life. Especially since they're looking at moves far ahead than you are. So they're able to see many different possibilities that are going to happen before you even do, because you do have the chess piece here of the knight, which is also, again, a very protective figure, a knight working to protect you. So it really feels like a lot of protective energy is coming forward, where they want to protect you, help you, to push you on your path a little bit. but also to see if you can help them in some way as well. They're trying to build a relationship with you, but that relationship is also built on you being able to help them as well. It definitely feels like I said, there's a reciprocal energy here that they definitely want offerings. They want to be, their name to be known. They want to continue to grow, with their own spiritual power as well, to help and continue to grow. And that sometimes helps when more people believe and worship. That also grows their power, right? And influence. It also shows that this might be something that feels slightly overwhelming to you, because you did get the overwhelm charm, like I was talking about earlier. It got stuck on my finger for most of while I was moving through the charms, and it feels like maybe you're feeling overwhelmed or overreached. So it also is showcasing to me that this spirit is, like I said, a very big one, and maybe that's overwhelming. Maybe it's something that is a spirit that is very well known, someone who is maybe a deity that isn't love and light and perfect, and maybe is related to much deeper, darker themes. And so maybe that's a little bit scary or overwhelming, or you are worried you could be manipulated or be put in a situation that you do not wish to. And you do not have to work with any deity that reaches out, right? It's still a choice, but that is coming forward here, where it feels like there's just something much bigger kind of trying to work with you here. It could be that they're wanting to work with you to break a particular cycle. So it could be something of a deity or a particular spirit that is very well known in your culture, that they also maybe want to not only help you break cycles and habits that aren't useful for you, but also, like I said, in that reciprocal way. I feel like they also want to break ties with particular correspondences or history, blurring their name or changing who they are, or wanting, your assistance in that way to, have better education on this particular spirit, because their name has been kind of trudged through the mud, or they just aren't known in the way that they should be. You know what I mean? Like there's a blurring of the truth there. So there's also something showing up there as well. I can understand how this would feel overwhelming. So we're going to see if there's anything else coming forward with the cards, so we can get a better understanding of exactly how they wish to come forward here even more, and maybe more about who they are. So not only looking into why they're coming forward, but more on who they are as well. So we're going to start with that first card. You have the Ace of Cups showing up here. More on that love and emotional relationships energy that's coming forward, protecting you within love, or protecting you in relationships. You also have the Five of Swords, especially unjust relationships, or feeling like your emotions are being taken advantage of. Anything else coming forward that you wish to share? Okay, you also have the Seven of Pentacles and the Emperor coming forward here, which tells me that they could be a spirit that is, does not have to be masculine. For me personally, I don't always think of spirits as having gender like we do, but in case that is useful, you do have the Emperor. The Emperor also can talk about someone who, again, schemes many moves ahead. They are very logical. They think quite far ahead. And the Emperor also shows someone who is a very high leader. So again, not a local spirit. We're not looking for smaller, more local or more personal spirits that are just tied to you, but something much bigger and grander on a bigger, more even global scale. The Seven of Pentacles kind of threw itself over here, which makes me think too that they, like I said, they're always seen as relationships and protection, but maybe they're also related to harvest, or related to agriculture in some way as well, because you do have the Seven of Pentacles showing up here with that sort of imagery. I'm going to go ahead and pull you one more card here, see what else there is. Group 2. You also have the Page of Wands as well, and all of these cards are quite like dark or in the nighttime. The Page of Wands is really the only one showing up here in the daytime. So it also is giving me this feeling too, just in the contrast of those two things, that they're very much known for being either a darker deity or one that is that works with the night, works with the moon, works with the stars, astrological associations, things like that. Or again, maybe their name has been seen as something used more magically, more psychically, the things of the night. The Page of Wands also is giving me this feeling too, with all of these cards, they're all looking to the past or all looking to the left, and this is the only one looking to the right as well. So they also are wanting to help break cycles in the past, both for you and for themselves, right? That reciprocal energy coming forward here once again, where they want to help, they want people to properly research who they are and not just see like an Instagram post of who they are and take that to heart, much more proper research, diving deeper into the meat of what they stand for. But also that while you're working on sort of that for them, you might also be getting help and assistance on the other end to be able to help break particular cycles that you've had in the past, so that you can better have your foot move forward. Especially if you felt stagnant in things like love, in your own personal harvest of your dreams and goals, and that have felt stagnant, or that they keep going stale, or they're not yielding the harvest that you wish for them to have, right? I feel like they want to help you and benefit you in that way as well, within relationships and your own personal goals and dreams here, so that they may actually bear fruit. So let's go ahead and see if we have anything else coming forward here. You had a lot of local, or maybe not local spirits, but just like you had the animal spirits coming forward. So I want to see if there's anything else coming forward with that. So group 2, anything else in that regard? You have Grandmother Rosemary's Source with the number 8 here. And it says, more than what you see, remember who you are here. Your form, love itself. Interesting. So again, that reciprocal energy is coming forward quite heavily here in that idea of the roots and what's above ground. There's also that feeling too of like, remember who you are. Almost like not only trying to help you remember who you are and the power that you hold, within making your dreams yield fruit, and also within relationships, but also again trying to help others remember who they are. Maybe it's a deity that hasn't been spoken about in a long time, or has been lost to time. So maybe that's also why researching them and diving deeper into a particular deity that is lesser known now, but used to have quite a height, might be useful as well, information for you. So yeah, you've got that going on, and then also that your form, love itself, giving you more to showcase that correspondence towards love for them as well. Plus, Rosemary has like a strong magical correspondence to remembrance and to memory. So that's showcasing even more of what we've talked about here as well, of wanting to be remembered and honored in a more truthful and honest way, or a way that is much more of who they truly are than like what media or the history books portray. So let's see anything else that they wish to show with some archetype cards. These may be archetypes that they fall into, or it could be archetypes in which they're currently helping you within. So group 2 here. Group 2. Okay, so you have the Archer. So archery could be a big part of their correspondences, or again with that harvesty feeling. Maybe they are part of the forest, or they are helpful in hunting and gathering and such things as that. When you look into their folklore, it says biding your time, planning ahead, those sorts of things. Let's see what else there is. Also, they are like sort of bearing fruit here as well. So again, more of that connection to harvest. group 2. You also have the Enchanter, deception and trickery. So again, they're not trying to deceive you, but I just feel like in general they have, a lot of people have deceived who they are. They've tricked and spun a completely different narrative of who they are. So they've been lost to time, lost to history, lost to a particular correspondence they used to hold, or a way in which they once held power. So there's something showing up there. Also, again, that feeling of that darker energy. For some of you, it's also, again, a spirit that works with darker energies, or is seen and has been portrayed as darker than they actually are. So it feels like something has been spun in a very different way, and they hope that you uncover the truth of who they are as a deity versus what has been told to you. So let's go ahead and finish off with a couple of cards here showcasing any last messages that want to come forward, and also any advice as well for working with them. And if you've been enjoying this reading, by the way, definitely feel free to give this video a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you saw. I'd love to hear, because this could go so many different ways, and I'd love to hear if you already know maybe who this deity is, or this much bigger spirit is. So let's see, though, any final advice or messages coming forward from you, group 2. Group 2. Okay, so you have radiance, keep your head held high, follow the sun. Interesting, we haven't had a lot of sunny energy coming forward here at all. And then you have discover. Look at the early dewdrops before they disappear within the morning sun. So, like, these two cards feel very different from everything else. They feel much lighter. They feel less of the dark. They feel like, again, they're trying to advise you to look more towards harvest, towards love and relationships, towards their past versus how they're portrayed now. And also, maybe they're related to the sun and have been seen as a deity of the moon for far too long, and there maybe shifting. Who knows? There's lots of different ways this could go, but I find this really interesting that they're like trying to have you discover that there's a hidden meaning behind everything, or a hidden path in which you could take with them. So really interesting to have these two show up here at the end. So we're going to go ahead and close off your reading here today. I hope that this was useful and helpful to you in navigating which spirit's coming forward and why. And if you found this useful and helpful, like I mentioned earlier, definitely feel free to give this video a like. Let me know what you saw and how they connected for you. And if you've even worked with this deity and you know exactly who this is, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. And if you're interested in these pick a card readings, looking deeper into the psychic gifts that you have, into magic, art magic, or into charm casting, then definitely feel free to subscribe, as I put out new readings every single Monday, as well as sprinkling in some educational videos as well. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And also, I have snail mail readings open right now if you want to dive deeper into a particular topic or question that's been on your mind, whether it's for career, for love, for spirituality, for self-growth, however you wish. Feel free to reach out for one of those, as I will send one your way. And also, I have open the opportunity to get your own bundle of spell and ritual papers that I hand create myself. They're perfect to use with local spirits, or to use as offerings as well. So feel free to use those however you wish for Samhain season, to connect with spirits, for automatic writing, for offerings, for your spells and rituals around protection and others around this season. They'd be really helpful and useful to use for that. So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and close off your reading here. Thank you so much for being here with me today, bringing your own energy forward, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose this piece of Rhodonite, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be exploring what you got going on for this particular opening of the veil, or the thinning of the veil at this time for you, with spirits coming forward, maybe multiple, maybe one or two. We're going to see who's coming forward, why they're coming forward, and what form they may take. So we're going to be doing that here in a moment, and whether it's Beltane season or Samhain season, this is still going to apply to you as the veil thins on both sides. And as the veil is so thin, this is the perfect time for us to be doing this kind of reading, because this is a much more easy time for both sides to be able to communicate with each other. So we're going to be doing this with the charms, as well as several different oracle decks, and the tarot deck of choice being the Everyday Tarot. I'll have all of this, as always, listed down below in the description, so it's easy and clear to find, as well as other helpful information and more about the offerings and other videos that I have open here for you as well. So let's go ahead and get started here by pulling some charms. As always, feel free to use your own intuition with this, as the charms are the perfect place for us to practice our intuition and see what comes forward. And because this is a collective reading, not all of the spirits that come forward here are probably going to be for you, but do feel free to see what comes forward to you most, what speaks to you most, and what pulls at your intuition most, because I think that's the place in which, water flows. As our intuition does, it'll choose the easiest path forward. Also, if you already have a spirit that you work with, or a spirit team that you work with, a deity that you work with, a local spirit, however you wish, or however you do, feel free to call them forward and see if they would like to work with you within this reading as well. So let's go ahead and pull you some charms and start there. So we're going to pull some of these. Feel free to connect with them as you wish, and I'll pull some for you. Okay, so I'm going to set this one fall in my lap, so I'm going to set that one down too. Oh, this one, I don't know what happened with this one. I don't even know where this came from, but there's almost fake webbing or a bit of fiber on here. I work with fiber art, so sometimes they just get stuck in my charms, I guess. So I'm going to leave that there because maybe it's part of it. But let's go ahead and see what you got going on here. First off, I got the word friendly coming up here. So they're a friend. They're either a spirit that you've already been working with for a while, whether you knew it or not, or it's literally a friend that has passed maybe, or one in which you have had in a past life, things like that. It could go lots of different ways, depending on your beliefs, but they are very friendly. They also could be a pet that you have lost as well, a friend, a pet, because this is actually my childhood pet, Cody, who I love dearly and still work with all the time. And so maybe you are working with a pet beyond the veil, or you're just communicating with them. Maybe they're just reaching out. Maybe you feel their presence in some way at this time. It seems that it could be a whole community of spirits coming forward here. Lots of friendly spirits that are here to work with you, because you did get the community charm showing up here right in my lap, which makes me think that I even got this feeling that maybe you're going to feel like a pet that you've lost kind of laying in your lap, or someone that it's going to be a physical presence in some way. You're not going to see them or anything like that, but you just feel that they're there. And just even the thought of that makes me kind of emotional, because I know that feeling quite well. You can just tell that they've kind of just showed up, that they're there, they're watching over you, or they want to just hang out with you, and you can just tell that they're there. So there's a whole community of friendly spirits wanting to reach out, whether they're friends or past loved ones that have passed. You also, like I said, had this really interesting charm with the bee showing up here getting caught in the web. So it also is this feeling too. Webs can be related to dreams, and they can be related to the spider weaving the web of our dreams. And if you think of that in this context, if you have a particular spirit that is related to bees, maybe they loved bees, maybe they loved insects, they loved nature, maybe they are also trying to reach out within your dreams, being caught in that web of sorts, as bees are actually quite friendly as well. You also have here the no cash value charm. So they're either trying to help you with your finances, or they're not here. They're here more for emotional support than financial or physical gain in some way. You also have the heavy heart. So again, it really feels like you're still maybe grieving someone, or that grief is coming back around at this time, and because you're able to, feel their literal presence in your lap, because you got the present here, or it's going to feel like a gift to feel them and hold them and see them once again in some way, even if it's small and fleeting. Again, more emotional support showing up here with this charm as well. And then you have the lock, which makes me think that it's taken a while for you to get to this point where you can feel them, but that is unlocking at this time because it's been locked up for a while. Or again, they're also just really not helping you with this particular financial situation that you might be in. That's not really what they're here for. They're here more for emotional support, especially around anything that might be manipulating you, or people manipulating you in some way, or you feeling manipulated, because you have the manipulation charm showing up here too. This can also represent the Tower in tarot, so it can also represent unexpected news or unexpected foundations crumbling. So again, maybe that's where that grief is coming from here as well. So I don't take this lightly, especially with how much you have coming in here around such close loved ones possibly showing up here for you. But they do seem to want to reach out. They do seem to want to be friendly with you, cuddle up with you, give you advice, or to be there emotionally for you as you move through things. They may not be able to physically do anything or help you along, like on a spiritual level, or help you in the physical world, but they are able to bring some emotional support, or to be able to help you in healing. So let's go ahead and see what else they wish to say, or how else they wish to show themselves within the cards. So let's start out first with a few cards here to see more of why they're here, as well as anything else they wish to share on who they are. So group 3 here. Spirits in which are coming forward beyond the veil for you this Samhain or Beltane season, and why. Okay, so you have the star. The star is all about healing and growth and that emotional realm again. Maybe even seeing them in the stars, being able to connect with them. Like, it feels like something that's so far off and yet they're so close at the same time, watching over us, looking over us, helping us to make sense of the world with the constellations. But yeah, the star is all about healing after a really difficult time. And I believe it actually does follow in order of the tarot, either the Death card or the Tower card. So I believe that this, especially with that Tower energy you had earlier of unexpected news or a foundation crumbling and having to go through a healing or grieving process of that foundation that has to now be rebuilt, the Star card is definitely showcasing that they want to help you in that. Group 3 here. Anything else? Sorry, I normally have my phone off for this, but my dad was just texting me something about the stars, which I think is really funny that just came forward. But anyway, I want to look deeper into your guys' reading. I can't believe he did it again. Okay, anyway, my dad never texts me at this time, so I wasn't expecting that, but that's kind of, I don't know, sometimes I think things like that are like coming forward for a reason, so I don't know if it's like them pulling the strings behind the scenes or just a coincidence, but regardless, I think it's funny that he was talking about the stars, and also is a loved one of mine. So again, maybe you're having that same situation happening in your life or reflected in your life where they're wanting to watch over you or share something about your healing within the star energy here, and also with the High Priestess showing up here as well. So let's go ahead and see what else you have coming forward now that I have my phone on silent. So group 3 here. Group 3, what else do you got coming forward? Sometimes readings are chaotic, y'all. So you also have here the King of Swords, very funny. And then you also have the Two of Wands showing up here. Let's see, one final card for your reading. Group 3 here. So yeah, this really feels like they're wanting to, again, help you with someone who is maybe manipulating you. You got the Devil card showing up here, a manipulation energy, but also, again, helping you with something that of a foundation that has fallen, and you're wanting to heal and grieve through that process. It seems like they, with the King of Swords too, they really want to reach out with the comfort that they're bringing forward. The King of Swords wants to communicate. They're all about communication, having open communication. They're very good with that kind of thing. And with the High Priestess showing up here too, it's giving me this feeling too that this isn't the first time they've reached out, especially if they've passed a while back. Or it is that just in general that they're really good at spirit communication, surprisingly, especially if they passed more recently and you're actually able to quite easily and quickly, again, hear from them in your dreams, with that nightly energy showing up here as well, or that you have psychic gifts within your dreams to be able to communicate with them more than you had expected, which I find really interesting because that came up a lot in one of the piles that I did recently for psychic gifts and magical abilities, so you can check that one out if you'd like to. The Two of Wands is an interesting outlier card from everything else here. It's a card of planning and wanting to work on goals and plan on goals, so maybe they're helping you with that as well, but mostly I'm feeling more towards the healing side of things, wanting to just reach out and comfort you as you move through a difficult situation at this time. I think they don't want to make things more complicated for you or make you have to follow or work again on more regular everyday stuff. I feel like they're just really wanting to focus your time towards healing and growth versus planning for the future or trying to work on more financial or mundane goals. So let's see what else is coming forward here with the Song of the Grandmother cards. These actually have lots of different nature spirits, so this might give us some more on local spirits that you might be working with, or more information on why they're coming forward here in general. So you also have, oh my gosh, you got Grandmother Star, y'all. Okay, so you have Grandmother Star, Magick, with the number 43, a protective and very communicative energy. And it says, how to cast a spell, dream, believe, imagine, ask. Open the pathways. They're definitely reaching out and they hope that you reach out back. The idea of the aurora that's showing up here as well above the trees by the stars, in lots of different cultures they can also represent loved ones beyond the veil coming closer, or not even just beyond the veil, just in general loved ones that have passed that are reaching out, or spirit that is reaching out close to us. And so if you believe in anything like that as well, there could be something showing up there. But I do find that this is another call towards that star healing energy, or also that they are wanting to maybe even reach out through the stars. Like for me personally, and this is just a personal anecdote, it doesn't mean that this is necessarily how it's happening for you, but for me, before one of my pets had passed, I was outside with him every night, helping him as he went through his process and through the difficulties he had going on, and we would just watch the stars together. And there was one particular constellation that I now always think of him every time I see that, so it could also be that you're seeing them in the stars in some way as well, showing up here too. It also could be that you're working with more astrological or cosmic spirits that are reaching out as well. So let's go ahead and see some archetypes and see if these are archetypes that they have, or particular archetypes that you're following right now that they are wanting to notice or have you look at. So group 3, any archetypes coming forward on them? You have the runaway, secrets, running away from problems. So again, they're not really trying to fix everything for you. You do have the key showing up here, but you have the lock over here next to financial and career goals. So I feel like, again, maybe you're running away from those because you need to heal, you need to work through something here, and that maybe having a little cage, sometimes a cage can be a cage, and sometimes it can be a place for us to heal and grow and let everything else around us and protect us from everything else around us. And so maybe they're trying to protect you at this time. Let's see what else there is. Group 3. you also have the priest here with perseverance and faith. So it's maybe again with that dream, believe, imagine, ask. We had the dreaming energy that we had here before, the opening a pathway, believing in them, having faith that they're here, I think is really important. Even especially with that high priestess showcasing again that you're reaching out within your dreams, or you're wanting to they're wanting to reach out to you in some way around that. It could be just that this is the time for you to really believe in them, believe the messages that are coming forward. A lot of the time when we have messages come forward towards us, like, we doubt them before we take them in. And so they're trying to kind of wash away that doubt and be like, yes, it really is me. Yes, it really is this. So if you've already been seeing messages from them and you've been doubting them, this is them reminding you or opening the pathway to you and letting you know that they're really here. So I want to finish with 2 other cards to see anything else that's coming up here for you relating to anything else, any other messages they want to share, or any advice coming forward. So we'll finish off with these, but if you have enjoyed the reading so far, definitely be sure to give this video a like, and let me know in the comments down below after I've finished these 2 cards to see what you saw in the cards and the charms. I'd love to hear, because like I said, this goes so many different ways. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But let's pull you 2 here for any final messages or advice in which they wish to share. So you have be present, use the hours, don't count them, with a little sundial here. And then you have 2 other ones with wildflower, live an uncontrolled life, free to grow anywhere and bound by nothing. Interesting, this one really reminds me of the flowers that are all around this cage. So it's like right now you need the cage to support you as you heal, but after you're able to grow and wildly grow at that. And then you have hidden depths. You only see the surface, look beyond. And this feels, again, near that priest energy and the star energy of opening those pathways and connecting with them further, because that doubt is only going to hold you back further from reaching out. So overall, those are all of the charms and cards that I have here for you today. I hope that you found this useful and helpful in communicating with these spirits. And if you did, like I said, definitely be sure to give this video a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you saw. You guys had a very interesting one with like the idea of this one being kind of caught in the web, and also the text messages aligning with other things within the reading, so they didn't feel like coincidences. They felt like weird, mundane, just trusting the process of how their chaotic energy of messages comes forward. But if you did enjoy, let me know. And also, if you're interested in more pick a card readings like this one, or other readings that I do on spirituality or career or other things, then definitely feel free to subscribe, as I put out new readings every single Monday, and also have educational videos on charm casting and art magic that I sprinkle in as well. So feel free to check those all out. And if you are interested in looking deeper into anything we had going on here, or getting your own reading, personal reading through a snail mail reading, then definitely feel free to reach out, as I send a letter to you in the mail. It is typewritten on a vintage typewriter, wax sealed closed for your eyes only, going very deep into any question or query that's been on your mind. And if you're more into the magical and spiritual things of this particular Samhain season or beyond it, then feel free to check out the spell and ritual papers that I create for Samhain, all around protection and spirit communication, that are perfect for automatic writing as offerings to spirits, writing letters to spirits, and communicating in those ways. So feel free to reach out and get your own set if that's something you're interested in, as well as I hand create those for this particular season for you. So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and close off this reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today and bringing your own spirit forward. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.